Retiring breast cancer surgeon Mike Dixon has held the lives of up to 40,000 women in his hands, writes Sandra Dick. Of all the things for one of Scotland's leading breast cancer experts to recall from a career spanning 4 decades and tens of thousands of patients, a 49p Harry Secombe record may seem the strangest. Not that consultant breast surgeon Professor Mike Dixon does not recall with crystal clarity the faces, names and medical details of an astonishing number of women treated at his Edinburgh clinics. Totting them up is harder. There are women who drag themselves through the doors of the UK's busiest breast unit fearing a death sentence. Ones who dreaded breast removal, and in the early days when battling cancer could be a brutal affair, they may have been right to. The stoic families who threw a consoling arm around him at deeply moving funerals. Dying young mums with tiny children in tow, the bright-eyed teenagers, worried grandmothers, frightened sisters and the many, with worrisome but benign lumps and bumps that turned out to be easier to fix than they feared. We see 10,000 patients in our clinics every year, around 200 a week, he says, trying to figure out just how many lives he has touched since arriving in Edinburgh in the early 1980s to his recent plans for retirement and dramatic reduction in his hours at the Western General Hospital's breast care clinic. He eventually plumps for a figure of somewhere between 30,000 and 40,000 breast care patients. At least 5,000, he guesses, would be in the grip of breast cancer. Of them, there have been many who, having poured out their fears, thanked him for being the only doctor who actually listened. That they landed on the books of a surgeon and consultant with a reputation for a mellow bedside manner appears to be at least partly down to that 49p Harry Secombe record. The son of a Sheffield steel worker and shopkeeper, Dixon grew up in one of the steel town's poorer areas, walking out of school at 16 with 4 A-levels and an interest in medicine. But rather than plunge into university, he opted to learn the very basics of patient care, first as a porter in the physiotherapy department at Sheffield Northern General and then as an auxiliary nurse in an old people's home. To break the monotony of the hospital waiting room, he'd bring the portable record player he used for his other job as a DJ, and entertained the patients. It was the most valuable time for me, says Dixon, a natural-born communicator. There was an old guy I used to see, he was always grumpy as a lot of old people can be. One day I made him tea in a huge mug and spoke to him about music. I asked what he liked, and he said Harry Secombe. Within days Dixon found a Harry Secombe record in a box on the pavement outside a record shop. He paid for more on this story, visit the news article link.